Hi everyone. This is Aurelie Najm reporting for Now in sunny Barcelona, day one of the conference. A lot of very exciting content and science. And there's one abstract that particularly caught my attention today, amongst many really, that looked into a different way to assess methotrexate adherence and what it means for people living with rheumatoid arthritis who maybe stop their methotrexate when they start their biologics. So it was a poster from a team from Manchester, poster 0563. And we know very well from the points to consider for treatment in rheumatoid that were updated in 2023 that it's recommended by EULAR for people starting a biologic to remain on a conventional synthetic DMARD, in particular methotrexate, pretty much regardless of the biologic. And that's, we could discuss that, but that's not the point. We could also, they also recommend for the methotrexate dose to be reduced to 10 milligrams a week. Because we know it improves the outcome and potentially immunogenicity. But in a lot of studies, when we look for methotrexate adherence, this is self-reported adherence, which is prone to measurements bias. So they came up with this alternative way to measure methotrexate adherence. And I'm going to have to read my notes here because this is very complex. This is high sensitivity liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry, LC-MS. And that's a very objective way of measuring. It looks for composites from the drug after it's metabolized. And so in their cohort of 250 patients, they looked into whether the adherence measured by this objective method was dropping after starting a biologic, and it does drop from 91% to 81% when people start biologic drug. So that's 6 months after starting the biologic. The two things here I wanted to say is that, first of all, 91% is really good. And so it's telling you that it's definitely a selected population that is willing to participate to research. And so it's kind of biased there because I'm pretty sure if we were to do that same measurement objectively into the standard of care, secondary care population, we probably have lower rates. The other thing they looked into was whether this drop in adherence was associated with a less likelihood of reaching EULAR response, of, at least if it was associated with EULAR response or reaching EULAR remission. And there was no particular association. However, there was a trend towards an improved change in DAS28, but the numbers probably made it. I mean, at least it wasn't significant statistically. Um, there was no information as to whether this was associated with specific drugs in particular as opposed to other. But I think it's quite interesting. Obviously, this is not something I'm going to use in clinical practice. I don't think it's ready yet. And if we wouldn't use mass spec in clinical practice every day anyways. But I think it just brings a different perspective on methotrexate adherence. And this is certainly something to reflect on. So that was it for me today. I invite you to follow Now for more content and to follow me also on X at Aurelie Romo. See you later.